So we did our presentation on track and field stadiums. Track and field history. The ancient Olympic Games began in the year 776 BC. The marathon is a modern event that was first introduced in the modern Olympic Games of 1896 in Athens, a race from Marathon, northeast of Athens to the Olympic Stadium, which was a distance of 42.195 kilometers. The race commemorates the run of Phidippides, an ancient day runner who carried the news of the Persian landing at Marathon of 490 BC to Sparta, which was about 149 miles, in order to enlist help for the battle. Some more history. Track and field athletics in the United States dates from the 1860s. The Intercollegiate Association of Amateur Athletes of America, the nation's first national athletic group, held the first collegiate races in 1873. In 1888, the Amateur Athletic Union, which governed the sport for nearly a century, held its first championships. Beginning in the 1920s, track and field scopes widened. The first NCAA national championships were held for men in 1921, and women's track and field became part of the Olympic Games in 1928, so just several years after. Building a track from scratch. In order to start building a track, you need to have a couple main things to get you started. First would be the proper site analysis, making sure that the place you're using and what's surrounding it is safe and ready to use. For example, some questions you'd ask: where will you build? Is this your proposed site appropriate for a track? Second is quality design engineering. Which company are you using to help get you started? Do they have the right qualifications? And last is expert construction. This includes construction of proper drainage, a stable base, and quality synthetic surface. Continued. Lastly, an important asset that is crucial to have is accurate marking, making sure that your lines clearly indicate the differences between all lanes, for example, for the 100, 200, 400. The cost of these facilities? Of course, each track and field stadiums range in different price amounts because of the amount of people seated at the location. However, some rack up to hundreds of millions of dollars. The advantage of this? The amount of money that is brought in from the ticket sales each year.
Examples of track facilities, the economic impact. Birmingham, Alabama, the Birmingham Crossplex. This track and field complex is 750,000 foot complex that costs hundreds of millions of dollars to create. Was projected that Crossplex would generate $13 million in economic impact for Birmingham in its first year of operation. New York's 168th Street Armory Youth Center, with more than 500,000 usages a year. This track and field complex generates more than $10 million a year for Upper Manhattan. Des Moines, Iowa, Drake Stadium, home to one of the nation's oldest and most respected track and field competitions. Overall income for the city has grown from $3 million in 2007 to an anticipated $110 million in 2014. Price to build new facilities. In the last 4 Olympics, on average, it cost slightly over $500 million to build Olympic facilities. Sydney Olympic Park cost $690 million in US dollars. That was in 2000 Olympics. Athens Olympic Park cost $281 million in US dollars. That was in 2004. Beijing National Stadium cost $582 million, and that was in 2008. And Queen Elizabeth Olympic Park costed $582 million in US dollars in 2012. Price to build new facilities continued. Olympic Aquatics Stadium cost $217.1 million. Funding source was federal. Olympic events were swimming and water polo. Carcio Arenas 1, 2, and 3 cost $1.68 billion and includes the main press century, international broadcast century, and other infrastructures. Funding source federal, municipal, and private. Olympic events were the basketball, judo, wrestling, fencing, and taekwondo. Post-Olympic plans. Carcia Arena 3 will become a school that combines academics and sports training. Price to build a new facility. Future arenas costs are about $133.4 million. Funding source: federal. Olympic events: handball. Post-Olympic plans: the arena will be rebuilt into 4 local schools, each space up to 500 students. So, with one event alone, it costs $133 million. So that's pretty much why every Olympic stadium on average costs about $500 million. Olympic tennis century costs $191 million. The funding was a federal source. Olympic events for tennis, again, just over $100 million just for one stadium and one event. Post-Olympic plans: the structure will become a part of the Olympic Training Center and available for international sports competitions. The dimensions of stadiums. The stadium roof is composed of 112 membrane sections covering a total of 24,500 meters. Individual elements are made of PVC coated polyester fabric with thickness of approximately 1 millimeter and an area of 210 milliliters. Detailed cutting plans allow crease-free installation of the elements, exact positioning of openings for water pipes and service access points, as well as placement of electric cables for the lighting towers.
Alright, lighting types and requirements. Lighting at London, there was more than 70,000 LED modules, each containing 9 LEDs, and were positioned next to the spectator seats. The modules were supplied by Belgium-based Tate Technologies. GE Lighting said that it would supply 14,000 lamps for London's 80,000 seat Olympic Stadium, as well as supplying Odyssey luminaires and ceramic metal halides (CMH) streetwise lamps to ensure that the highest level of security within the main visitor areas was in the Olympic parks. At the 15,000 capacity Olympic Hockey Center, GE supplied Specialist Sports floodlights in the form of its Euroflood 2000, which has been designed with an integrated ballast compartment for high-pressure sodium and metal halide lamps up to 600 watts. Lighting type requirements continued. Lighting technology has to meet demanding requirements for TV transmission of athletics competitions. A total of 532 lights are organized into 14 towers to protect spectators and athletes from glare effects. These are situated 63 meters above the field on the play. The lighting towers, weighing 35 tons each, are held in position by means of cables from the truss behind. Materials used. First, we have the roof, steel tubing frame supported by the cable net. The top ring, which is 2,500 tons of steel tubing. Here's just a diagram of an image of London's Green Olympic Stadium, and basically it breaks it down into the roof and everything it's made out of. More materials used. In the upper tier we have 55,000 temporary seats, in which a steel frame is supporting the upper. The lower tier we have 25,000 permanent seats in the concrete bowl, and in the lighting towers we have 14 tower housing, 532 floodlights. Special considerations from facility systems. The draining system. Due to the synthetic track surface, proper drainage of water is required in order to preserve the life of the track. Requirements for the water jump event. Upon construction, you must decide if you will host a jump event in your facility. The reason for this is because the foundation must be made to support it. If not, then it will be too weak for it and the event would be ruined. In-ground installations. Some events require in-ground equipment installations. For example, pole vault plant boxes, discus and shot put rings, etc. Ancillary areas. Rooms for sport, rooms for the media, operational rooms, rooms for competition organization, and lastly, rooms for administration and maintenance. Other events that can take place in a track and field facility. If designed correctly, a facility can oftentimes hold more than just one sport. For example, a turf can be put in to support soccer as well as football, with an indoor track surrounding it, essentially making a multi-purpose, multi-sport facility, which is better for more people in the long run because they can come and watch different sports at the same time. The facility can also be used to hold charity events, youth camps, promotional events, and many more things. Common maintenance tasks. Preventative measures include inspections, testing, window cleaning, HVAC, filter cleaning, track cleaning and cleansing, and light replacement. Just the basic duties.
Revenue: concessions, alcohol sales, ticket sales from different events, and renting the facility out. Risk management concerns: the definition is the process of identifying, analyzing, and evaluating the problems that occur, as well as moderating them. Areas of heavy use, such as entrances and exits, present safety problems because they are places where many fans congregate. Areas of specialized use, such as toilets, sinks, doors, also create problems due to the unorthodox means in which they may be used. Areas of expectation: fans expect their seats to be good working condition and the floors be reasonably clean. These expectations are justified. Saints fans can only do so much to protect themselves from risk. Typical expenses found in facilities: electric, heating, plumbing, equipment, decor, cleaning and upkeeping, maintenance, and paying employees. How much money is used to operate facilities? The expenditure of a facility depends on the cost of your monthly upkeep. Every facility is different, but for example, after all bills are paid, monthly expenditure is $7,000. For the best results, you should balance your revenue to have a consistent source in order to pay enough every month.